Hey, where y'all going? Oh, I'm straight on that. I'm going to the Purple Shell.
Yeah, we back tapped into the livest platform in Atlanta, man. I'm your livest host in Atlanta, man. They call me Big Two. You can find me on Instagram at BIG_2RNMG. Yeah, we back at this thing, man. We got a special guest in here today, back on the purple couch. You know how we doing it. I'm gonna let him introduce himself, by the way. Go ahead and your business out.
Got you, homie. What's happening, man? It's your boy Nitres, a.k.a. Veteran, North Carolina legend.
Yeah, North Carolina legend,
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So we gonna give him a little bit. We gonna start from the beginning, man. When did this passion for music, come to you?
That's real. That's real, bro. So if I'd answer that question, man, like my whole life,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So like I always been artistic, you know what I
Okay.
mean? So like
Okay.
before the music, I was drawing and painting and shit like
Okay.
that, you know what I mean? So somehow like around like 5th, 6th grade, it transitioned. And actually, my best friend of mine at the time, he was the one rapping.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm hanging with him, watching, write his raps down and shit like that. So eventually I'm like, damn, what's he doing? So we started doing it together. And then he moved away to Richmond.
Okay.
All right. So at that point, you know what I mean? I kind of just kept it going on my own. And then all these years later, still at it.
I'm still at it, man. Still at it. When did you start taking the music serious? Because I know people, when you first start out, it's not really that serious to you because you're still trying to find yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
But once you establish, okay, this is what I want to do, what actually make you take that step to say, I want to take this serious now?
That's a good question. So, if I say serious, I think the stages are serious, right?
Right.
So, like, there was a phase of I'm just rapping in my room to I think I'm good at this. So
Okay.
maybe around like high school, I got in with like the rap clique and we went to studio together. So I started taking studio time serious. You know what I mean? Paying for studio time. After the high school and shit, started doing shows locally, trying to kind of find my lane, that sound, right? But I would say around like 2016, 17, when I picked it back up and was like, yo, I'm going full steam ahead with this. You know what I mean? Like full marketing budgets, everything behind me. Like, yeah.
Now, with you, being originally from North Carolina and then moving up to VA, what was that transition like for you?
Yo, it's tough, B.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Simple as that. It's tough.
G. So, like, I remember, like, you really work hard to get your foot in the area in the market. You know what I mean? So, like, back home, like, my following was the biggest there. You see what I'm saying? So then I moved to Virginia.
Okay.
Back to square one. I got to
square one. You gotta
rebuild. You know what I mean?
Right.
Get out and connect with the people. So I stayed in VA for like 2 years after I left Carolina. And so really that was like in that period, I didn't really get full traction, I'll be honest with you. All right.
Okay.
So I left there, went to Maryland, and that's when I started really like, okay, I've been here for a minute now. Now I can, I'm settled in type of shit. You know what I mean? So at that point, that's when I really started to like get out in these Maryland streets and hit the club scene. And then, like I said, about 3 years ago, I moved up to PA. So I've been on the move, man.
You definitely been on the move, man. You've been moving. You've been moving on up and let them know, like, I'm coming.
You see what I'm saying? But the cool thing is where I'm at, bro, it's like it's convenient to everything.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Where I'm at in PA, I can get to Jersey, I can get to VA, I can get to Maryland, I can get to New York. It's all right.
It's all right there.
So I'm everywhere up there.
Now, when you went to Maryland, did you feel like it was more acceptance in Maryland than where you were?
Fuck yeah, bro.
Right.
So when I was in VA, dog, I was in the mountains. They had me out in Charlottesville, Cub, for a couple years. I'm like, bro,
I was in the mountains.
I had chickens and goats
Oh,
in my
man.
neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, it won't like that for real. That's part of the problem. But once I hit Baltimore, that's the big city,
Right, it
the
started
bright
to-
lights.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right,
I can
right.
maneuver with a hip hop fan base.
Right.
Yeah.
So now that you done got your feet in the game and you done mingle with a few folks.
Yeah.
What is one of the things that you notice as far as the industry that cats that's just coming in need to look for?
Yo, that's crazy. I think about it all the time. If I'd answer that question honestly, bro, I would say this is business first. All right. So like anybody want to do music and you think you got the hottest song,
Right.
like there's no such thing as it being totally organic. You're not gonna move that record unless you got some money behind it. You see what I'm saying? Like you gotta have the people behind you and the money behind you.
You gotta have the whole setup.
And they gotta go in tandem. They gotta move to the same marching beat. You know what I mean? So like you'd be surprised how many artists I talk to, bro, who like, yo, I want to do music like you. Well, they don't know the money I'm spending to do this.
Right. They don't see behind the scenes.
They don't see behind the scenes
right.
how much time goes into doing this. Traveling, being everywhere, being in front of the people. That shit ain't free.
It ain't free. It's hard to break a record. It costs to break a record.
It costs, G.
You know what I'm saying?
It costs to be popular, bro.
Yeah, most definitely. most definitely. Now, dude, I got an important question because I kind of feel like you come from a little bit of the era I come from. Yeah. Do you think social media helped people as far as like independent artists to really get their music out there, or do you think it's hurting them kind of?
That's two-part, right? So for people from our era who had to beat the ground every single night, right?
Right. Pop the trunk era. That's what I call it.
Pop the trunk era, right? Hand CDs out, right? Who have that grind and hustle in them. Right. I think it made it easier, right? Right. Because you already got the hustle in you. Now you're just switching platforms and how you go about it. You're not in the club every single night, but you can reach twice as many people online, all right? In a matter of seconds. For those who I think come from this era, it's two types of them. Those that just fully understand it, so they're able to break through and go viral all the time because they understand the machine, right? Okay. The algorithm. But you have those people, man, who feel like, yo, I'm going to record this in my bathroom, take this video on my iPhone and post it online and don't do shit. It don't have no numbers for them. Right. And they upset about it, don't get that, hey, look, man, like, end of the day, you got to have a hustle still to go with that. You know what I mean?
That was a good-ass answer because I always said it's a double-edged sword. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like back then, to understand the industry, you had to understand the marketing, how to, you know what I'm saying? Because back then you had to market it.
You had to do all of it.
You know what I mean? Because people didn't have them big record companies behind them. Nope. You feel what I'm saying? And you really had to get out there, pass your shit out, get your name out there. Yeah. I feel like now with the independent market, I feel like the internet handicaps a little bit. Because people think, if I post, if I do this, it's not like that. You know what I'm saying?
So you probably remember the era then, bro, when like you had this new song you just did, you thought it was fire, and you had to go print 100 copies. Yeah. Buy your envelopes. Yeah. And you mailed 100 copies out to every single record label you could Google and find online, right? Today they think they can just post it and these people automatically looking at it. And they're not.
They're not.
Because there's so many people out here doing music now. It's saturated. You know what I mean?
So you really got to get out there.
You got to break through the noise.
Hey, there you have it. You know, I ask these type of questions because, you know, I try to give the new guys that's coming in and trying to learn the game, I try to give them little bits and, you know, pieces of insight of what to do and what not to do. Because we don't have a lot of people guiding these new artists, these new independent artists, you know what I'm saying? And I just try to give them a little game, you know what I mean, when it come with it. Now, with you being from North Carolina, then you moved to VA, having that Baltimore flavor, that Maryland flavor, how does that impact your music? Because, you know, you've touched different
markets,
you know what I mean? And you see how different shit plays out. How does that play out in your music?
So I think, you know, the biggest part of it, bro, is now I have life experiences in each of those markets, right? I haven't been in shit in PA, you know what I'm saying? Maryland. Right. So when you're rapping, you're usually telling your story. So now these are part of my story, you know what I mean? Right. But as an artist, I think it grew my mind, right? So, like, I had got big in Carolina. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Right. When you move and you step away and realize, dang, I ain't nobody in Richmond. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, whoa, they don't even know they even turn their eye at me in Maryland. You know what I'm saying? So it rejuvenated the hunger for me. You know what I mean? It made me back hungry again. Like, yo, here I am almost on a pedestal thinking I done made a name for myself. Now I move, I realize I got to get back to that same grind. Right. It ain't over yet. Right. You know what I mean?
Right. Because you think, because you in one spot and you know, it's all good, but once you step out, it's about what's the comfort zone, you stepping out. Then once you step out that comfort zone, you start to see the whole makings of how this shit really goes. You feel what I'm saying?
It's a grind that don't stop.
It's a grind that don't fucking stop. To me, bro, I feel like a 9 to 5 ain't got shit on a nigga that's trying to do music, man.
Shit on. You gotta remember, 9 to 5 niggas, they go in at 9, they clock out at 5.
That's it.
They're done.
That's it.
When you do music, bro,
it's 24/7.
24/7,
and it's on the wake up. You know what I mean? And I respect the grind, because like I ain't no artist or nothing, but I've been in those situations where I can speak on it. Yeah. And today's world, you have those very few that blow up off social media and those type of things, but to really get in those offices and talking to those real execs and things like that, you have to get out. You have to market yourself. You have to really look at yourself like a brand. You know what I'm saying? And anything you do, if it's from washing cars, cutting grass, it's a market, so you have to brand yourself. And today I feel like a lot of people's not branding themselves. So but we're going to get back to you, my dog. You've been killing shit for a minute, man. You've been dropping. You know what I mean? You've been going crazy. Tell them about the new project you got coming, man.
Yeah, man, the new project, The Switch Up, is coming out, man.
Switch Up.
November, man. So Switch Up is actually part of what we just talked about, right?
Right.
How I had to move to different markets and switch up from my comfort zone,
Okay.
And so, a lot of that shows in the music, man. Like this project, I won't drop too many names, but like Enes,
my dog,
Lady Luck, shout out to homie Lady Luck, our dog Jag, you know what I mean? Cap G, shout out Cap G, and more names out there, man. So really just switching the game on, man. I think it's coming full circle, right? Full circle right now. It's that moment for me, right? So that's what the Switch Up represents, man. Everything coming full circle, giving them a new flavor. But this is the sound of Nitres right here.
The sound of Nitres right here, man. Yeah. It's coming in full circle, man. My dog hit me in the DM. He like, bro, I need to get on the couch with you. I got to make it happen. and bro definitely made it happen. You know what I mean? If y'all watching this, you know what I mean? Y'all better go follow my dog, man. Nitres, man. Go stream his music, man. Tap in with him, man. He dope, man. And he coming from a real perspective. Now, back to the music. With this new project, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, it hits the streets November, right?
Yeah.
When they bring back up this project, what you want it to be known for, like?
I ain't never heard that one, but that's a good question, G. Yeah. So, if I wanted the project to be known for something, hopefully inspiration. All right, so like my whole brand is around inspiration, right? Inspiring people, people who come from regular backgrounds. If you from the hood, if you from a 9 to 5, if you that chick who in the strip club, like you can be whatever you want to be. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like without getting too deep into shit. Like I come from the most unlikely situation. Parents on drugs and shit like that. Grandparents stepping to raise me. Right, but I still past a lot of people who had both parents in their homes, and you're surprised. Like sometimes when the pressure's really on, that's when you really are able to show up and be the best version of you, right? You got to be battle tested, is what I call it, right? So I feel like at this point in my life, I'd have been through a lot at this age and been battle tested. This is where you come out on your shield.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oh, he said battle tested, man. Yeah. Because it's definitely going to be a motherfucking fight, man.
It's a fight, bro.
It's a fight, man. And, you got to be able to take your losses with your wins, man, and take constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Because one thing you have to understand as an artist, and when it comes to music, everybody's not going to like it. You know what I'm saying?
Never.
Everybody's not going to like it. Everybody's not going to cheer you on. You're going to have your, your haters. You're going to have people that don't like it.
Yeah.
That's what come with this shit. But in all actuality, they see the work. Because you have to see something not like it.
I like that.
I don't give a fuck. That's my thing.
That's facts, though.
I don't give a fuck if you don't like it.
That's facts, though.
As long as I know you've seen it.
That's facts, though.
That's you feel what I'm saying?
I do.
Right?
What's crazy is, bro, like, she put it that way, like, I done been in the label meetings and stuff like that, bro. I had people tell me, like, bro, this ain't it. All right? Then I hit the streets, and I be up like a platform. I'm performing somewhere, and I see the people's response to it. They're singing along. They know the words. Like, that's perception, perspective, right? You know what I mean? Like, what's for one person might not be for the next, man. It's like artists don't get caught up in like seeking a opinion and advice from every single person, man.
Right.
Like, take it for what it is, grain of salt. Some gonna like it, some might not. Even your biggest names, man, your Missy Elliott's, Timberlands, they might not like it. Might not be their cup of tea, right? Don't let that discourage you. And I think back to your point, like, that's the biggest part of the fight. Can you overcome that letdown? All right, those feelings of rejection, and can you keep developing and becoming something that the majority will like? Because you never get everybody to like it, but you have a core. If you can find that core that likes what you're doing, you won.
Everybody likes that nigga that get back up.
Yeah, that's the journey.
Yeah, everybody likes that nigga get back up.
Can you fall 7 and get up 8?
That's. I feel like that's once the people really see what's going on. I feel like that's the motherfuckers that win. You got to get knocked on your ass and get up. A motherfucker got to see that. Like, oh, that nigga, I remember. And then you pop back up. Oh, he back.
Bigger and better than ever. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I look at it like that, man. And 2025, man, what do you feel like you can do to improve your craft and your career? What you feel like you could, sharpen up on?
That's a great question, man. I would just say, like, in 2025, what have I sharpened up is hard. I would say this run for me right now has been like the marketing run. Like, I've always done, like, I'm gonna tell you, I'm naturally like a introverted person. Okay. So actually, for me as an artist, the music is the easy part. Yeah. Getting out amongst the people and really wanting to do that at times can be the hard part. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm an extroverted introvert. Like, I can do it, but do I really care to do it? So for me, that journey has been, like, in 25, making that the priority. I've done the music. I know I can do that. Now let me get out in front of the people, show them who I am, let them see the raw guy, something I never cared to really do before.
That's deep. That's deep. Because I feel like a lot of people, I was just having this conversation earlier, and I feel like the people that can actually be themselves, them be the geniuses, them be the motherfuckers that win. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't give a fuck about who and what.
What's crazy, bro, I think that comes with the stage of life in your artistry, right? Because I think at some point, I'll be alive outside. I think we all go through that phase where you really care, right? Because you're really trying to look the part. Yeah. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. Until you realize, like, yo, being me is cool enough. Yeah. Like I told you, I'm an introvert. Yeah. There's some people who just love to be around people. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not me. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I gotta work a little bit harder than that shit. Right. You know what I mean? Right. But it's cool because that's who I am, right? I don't take away from me as a person. If anything, it tells you the person who you're dealing with, right? But I'm very passionate about being creative. I've been a creator my whole life. You see what I'm saying? There's people who think about it, bro. I mean, artists you just sat and talk with, who they might not like the studio part of the shit, but they love getting on stage in front of people, right? That's the part that makes them keep going. There's people who like the studio aspect, creating the music, the art. Right. But then the other side, I feel like work. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think we all got our own thing. I think it's really about just finding what makes you get up and keep doing this shit. Like you said, every time you fall, what motivates you to get back up and keep doing it?
Yeah. Hey, you just said it for me, man. Yeah. Now, before we end this, I want to ask you another question. Yeah. Do you see yourself, if a label came to you right now and it was like, look, we see your work, we see what you're doing, everything, what would it actually take to get you to sign the dotted line?
It's got to make business sense, right? I mean, I think when you're young, the whole aspiration is to be signed to a label. Like I said, I've been out here now and done it. I've made the money on my own, right? So it's got to make better business sense. And plus, I'm not a spring chicken. You know what I'm saying? Right. I've been on this road before, sat with the labels, heard the BS, heard the fake promises, right? So for me, it's got to make business sense. And honestly, today, most artists, like, unless they're going to bring something to the table that you and your team can't, it might not make business sense. Okay. You might be giving up more than you actually get, right? Yeah. So just make it make sense.
Make it make sense, man. Hey, I just told you here, man, right on the purple shell, man, on the purple couch, man. Hey,
thanks for having me, G.
Hey, man. Hey, y'all need to go tap in. Let them know where they can find you, my dog.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all tap in with me on Instagram, Nitres, NITRESTHA, veteran. All right, same thing on YouTube, all the platforms. Nitres the veteran, man.
It's going down. Let them know when the project coming.
Yeah, project the Switch Up.
November.
Right? Make sure y'all stay tuned, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out to my dogs at the Purple Shell.
For sure, man. Hey, man, when y'all watch this, like, share, subscribe, comment. Y'all know what's going on, man. This is the livest platform in Atlanta, the Purple Shell, and I am the livest host in Atlanta. They call me Big Two, man. You can find me on Instagram at BIG_2RNMG. Nitrous, dog. We out of here, man.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, my dog.
The Purple Shell.
Fire.
Yeah.
Appreciate